Hi guys, welcome to another Divi theme video. This is Jamie from System 22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. We got a fun one for you today. As you can see, we got some floating modules here. Really eye-catching, that's going to get people's attention really quickly. Really easy to do. I'll show you exactly how to do it. So let's get started. I've actually got this page open here. Let's get rid of this section and we'll start from scratch. Here's the custom slider we built the other day. Let's add a new section below it. Little blue button to add a new section. I'm going to use 3 columns on mine. You can use any module you want. For convenience, I'm going to use a call to action. You can also do this with images if you want to too. And let's say option 1. Obviously, you have real information on yours. Button, let's say more info. Now, I know you can't see a button. That will show up when we put a link in for the actual button itself. And that's a bit more text than I want to see around there. Let's cut it off about there. And if we roll down a little bit more, here's where you'll find the link. As soon as I put something in the button link there, the button will show up. Perfect. And if you want to link the whole module somewhere, in other words, anywhere that they click on this module, if you want to link that somewhere else, you can put another link in there. Always best practice, if you're opening into your own site, leave it in the current tab. If you're going off site to somebody else's site, open it in a new window or in a new tab. That way your site's going to stay open. And just for a bit of more interest, let's go down to our background. It's got a default blue color in there. Let's merge it with an image perhaps. Now let's throw in one of these crazy cars. To merge it with that background image, I mean, it's fine with the image, but we can't really see that text and stuff because it's too busy. If we roll down, I'm still on the image tab here, right at the bottom, background image blend. I'm just going to use multiply, but you can get some amazing effects with these settings, such as luminosity. I use that quite a lot. Difference, another fun one. But for mine today, I'm going to use multiply. It just multiplies it with that blue. Okay. A little bit too much padding left and right. So let's go over to our design now. And in the spacing, I think it's got 40 by default down there, even though it's empty. Let's put in 20. We'll hit the chain. That gives it a little bit more there. And let's just take that button writing down a little bit. Just above, we've got button right here. Let's use custom styles. All I'm going to do is take that text style down a little bit. And we will capitalize it. It's highlighted, but we need to re-highlight it to capitalize it. And let's just take it down a little bit in size. Great. Okay, well now let's have a bit of fun. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to clone this a couple of times. So we've got 3 of them. So I'm going to hit the 2 little squares there. I'm going to grab this one. I'm going to put it across. I'm going to do the same again. 2 little squares. Grab this one. All I'm doing is left clicking, dragging and releasing. Now we've got 3. I'm going to go into the next one. Now let's go straight over content and text, option 2. I'm going to leave everything else exactly the same for expediency. And a background, let's just flip the image. Put in another one of these crazy cars perhaps. And we'll do the same for the third one. Flip that image one more time. And back in the text, option 3 perhaps. Okay, now to make them bounce up and down or float, I'm going to write a little bit of CSS code. And don't let that put you off, it's really easy. I'm in the third one, it doesn't really matter which one you start with. We need to go over to our advanced, down to CSS. We're going to be using the freeform CSS tab here. Now to select the whole module, all I need to do is left click in my CSS panel there, right selector, selector. That's telling us we're targeting that whole module. I'm going to open and close some curly brackets. Inside, we can tell it what we want it to do. Well, I want it to animate, basically. So I'm going to say animation, animation, colon. Then we need to give it a name. Let's call it FL1. Call yours what you like. It's got to be unique, though. Let's kind of float one. I want it to run for perhaps 5 seconds, 5S. And I want it to keep going and keep going. So I'm going to say infinite. Great. Well, now we've told it what we want it to do, we've actually got to create this animation that we've called FL1. So let's drop down again from our curly bracket there. We're going to be using keyframes to do this today. It's kind of like stop frame animation. We've given it a time frame of 5 seconds, and we can tell it what we want it to do from second 0 to second 5. So let's say at keyframes, KEYFRAMES, no gap. Then the name that we gave it, which was FL1. Now we can open some more curly brackets, and we can start our little animation there. So I'm going to say 0%. So basically that's when the page loads. It's the beginning of second 0. Now we need to open and close some more curly brackets right here. We can tell it what we want to do. Well, I want it to be exactly where it is, so I really don't want it to do much. I'm going to say margin, top, 0. And a little semicolon at the end there. Basically, that's telling it I want it to stay exactly where it is. Then perhaps at halfway along our 5 seconds, which would be the 2.5 mark, I'm going to copy that whole thing from the 0 to the end of our first curly bracket there. I'm going to drop down one more time. I'm going to repaste it in there, Control V. I'm going to put a 5 in front of the 0 there, so it's 50%. It's telling it it's halfway through our 5-second period there. I'm going to say, let's have the margin top, maybe -30. So it's going to come up by 30 pixels. -30 px for pixels. As you can see, it's already started bouncing. Now to keep it smooth, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a comma after my 0, because when it gets back to 100% at the end of the 5th second, I want it to be at 0.2. You won't see a whole lot of difference there, but we can comma separate this by putting a comma in there, then the 100% sign. So we've got one of them going, very easy. To do the others, I'm sure you're ahead of me. I'm just going to copy this code here. Control C to copy. I'm going to go into my next one. I'm going to paste it in there, Control V. And I'm going to change the timing a bit. Let's make this one 7 seconds. Because I know it looks like they're moving at different rates. In fact, I'll leave it like that and show you on the front end the reason we're changing the timing. Let's go into the first one. And again, I'm going to paste that code in there. The great thing about Divi 5 is when you hop from one to the other, you're in the right place. So let's do a quick save, and I'll show you on the front end. And you'll see that they're actually kind of going up and down at the same rate. So let's preview on front end. If I move down a bit, they're actually all going up and down at the same rate. And anybody got a bit of a sharp eye, you'll notice we've got a little bit of a problem down the bottom. It may be a problem, it may not be a problem, depending on you want it. Or our little gallery at the bottom is bouncing up and down also. And personally, I don't want that. So let's change the timing on these so they're floating individually. So I'm going to go back to my page we've got open here. I'm in the first one. Let's perhaps make this one 4 seconds. Let's go into the second one. And let's make this one 7 seconds. So now they'll all be floating up and down at different rates, which will be a lot more eye-catching. Now, if you don't want the gallery or the section below, as you can see, I'll hover over, we've got the section tab, the blue tab there telling us it's a different section. What we can do, we can give our top section here, the floating section, a fixed height. So let's do that. I'm going to make it a minimum perhaps of the 50% of the screen size. Hit the blue tab. I'm going to go over to design here. Over in sizing, we want height. I'm going to use a minimum height, so it can get bigger, but we don't want it getting smaller. So let's put in 50 viewable height. Obviously adjust yours to taste. Now that we've done that, it's got enough room to jump up and down without pushing that section up and down below, as you can see there. And if we do another quick save, let's get rid of this preview here. We'll have a fresh one. And we'll preview again on the front end. Move past our little slider there. As you can see, they're floating up and down at different rates there. Now, I think this is okay because we can still get to the buttons. We can still read it. It's not going crazy. So it's easy to do. But if you decided you wanted to stop when they hover their mouse over it or when they tap on it on tablet and mobile, you can do that really easy by just adding another little line of code. So let's go back here. Let's go into any one of these. Back over to our code in Advanced and CSS here. What I'm going to do is copy this first bit to the first closing curly bracket there, Control-C to copy. I'm going to jump down a little bit, space, Control-V to paste it in there. At the end of selector right there with no gap, I'm going to put a colon, and again, no gap and the word hover. So we created a hover state basically for our module. And where it says animation there, after the colon, I'm going to get rid of what it says. I'm just going to say none, N-O-N-E. And of course, we need to copy this into each of our other modules. Let's just copy that, Control-C. Make sure it's going to work. As you can see, when I put my mouse on this one, it's stopping now. These two are still going to be going up and down. So we go into our second one. We copy that code, Control-V to paste. This one will now stop too. And you know what to do with the first one. Perfect. Fantastic. Now let's just check that again on the front end. We'll save. Now we can just go back here and refresh the page. Roll on down. They're still bouncing up and down nicely. But when I hover over them, it's going to stop its animation. I can read it. I can hit the mouse. When I take my mouse off, it's going to start up again. Same with this one. And the same with this one right here. As I say, really nice little feature, and you can do that with any module. You can do it with images. We've done that before, certainly with Divi 4. Can't remember if I've done it with Divi 5, not yet, but it's exactly the same code. Now, I know some people have a bit of a problem with writing CSS code. Don't worry about it. It can't break your site. If something goes wrong and it doesn't look right, just select it and delete it, and it'll be absolutely fine. But for those that just want to copy and paste, I'll put this down below the video and you're welcome to copy and paste it. Use it how you will. So there we have it. There is how to create some floating modules in Divi 5 using a little bit of custom CSS. Really easy to do, and that's going to get people's eyeballs on it very quickly indeed. So I hope you've enjoyed this today and found it useful. If you have, please give it a thumbs up, ring the bell, comment, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Don't forget, if you have any questions either about Divi 4 or Divi 5, put them down below. I'll be happy to answer them if I can, or make a little demo video just like this one. For those that are wondering that have just been working with Divi 5, Divi 4 is going to be supported for another year, and it's working perfectly, but you just haven't really got the speed advantages that you do with Divi 5. And of course, Divi 5 has got a lot more options than Divi 4. So once again, this has been Jamie with System22 and Web Design and TechTips.com. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.